All of Nintendo's big franchises have had some pretty blatant rip-off games. So today, I wanted to play them. We're gonna be looking at knockoffs of Zelda, Animal Crossing, or even Splatoon, and the games are gonna get more shameless as the video goes on. But before we get to those, let's start with the big one, Super Mario. And there's actually a lot of material to work with for this series. Games like the Great Gianna Sisters that literally have the same level layouts as the original Super Mario Bros. Game, or there's even this weird leprechaun version of Mario 2. Huh. No. The one I'm looking at is called not Mario 3D World, but Tony's 3D World. Yeah, just some guy Tony. And once the game starts, well, I think you can see where the inspiration is from. It looks exactly like New Super Mario Bros. In every way. And it's not even in 3D, the title's a lie too. There's only one power-up, being the Fire Flower, but it's so broken in this game, because there's no limit for your shooting, so you can just spam away and easily kill everything. And there's only one boss that occurs every 20 levels. It's just this dumb little dragon simply called Boss. But fine, it's a mobile game. That's like the low-hanging fruit of rip-off games. So from here on out, the games are gonna get more interesting. Fully fleshed out and blatant rip-off games sold on console and PC. The Zelda series. So many unique staples to this franchise, how could anyone copy this? Oh. Ocean Horn, monster of uncharted seas. Okay, so we started up and come on, look at our main character here. It's literally identical to the Breath of the Wild Link. Same shirt, shoes, hair, tights, I guess, as Link. In fact, as I started playing, I noticed so many enemy designs are just like the ones in Zelda. We got Chews, Tektites, and Octoroks. You even defeat these guys in the same way too. It's a dungeon crawler type game, and there's some backstory to it too. I guess your father got eaten by a fish and you gotta find him, I don't know. 4 unlit lanterns. I wonder what you have to do. Oh, a chest spawned! Never would have guessed! You gotta go between a bunch of islands in this game, and when you do, the game suddenly turns into Wind Waker. Even passing a ship that looks suspiciously close to Beetle's ship when you leave the island. In fact, after you get the bomb item in the first dungeon, you then even use this cannon-like gun on your ship to shoot at various things in the ocean. That's literally the exact same sequence of events that occurs in Wind Waker. What? It's like they're almost trying to copy Zelda at this point. Just try and find the differences between these two games now. Seriously. But if you thought that game was shameless, well, things are only gonna get worse from here. Let me show you with this next game. Remember Kirby Dream Course, that mash between golfing and a Kirby game? Well, why don't you take a look at not Kirby, but Bulby Diamond Course this time. Oh boy, we're already in for a treat here with a title like that. So our main character here looks to be just like Kirby, but with pants. And it even starts with him waking up under a tree, a thing that Kirby has done a lot of in his games. The concept here is the same as in Kirby's game too. Like, it's literally identical. You have to first hit all the enemies in a certain amount of strokes, and then the last enemy will turn into the hole. Heck, even the hole and other arrow patterns look the same too. Then we get to the actual courses, and okay, literally things are now seeming exactly like Kirby's Dream Course. Between the tile-based floor pattern, the suspiciously similar trajectory markers, and just the menus in general, like how you shoot the ball, this doesn't even seem like a different game. Like, I don't even know what else to say about this game. It's so similar to Kirby's Dream Course that I'm at a loss for words. There's really not much to it. Sure, some levels are decent, but others have weird obstacles to play through, so the level design is not even good either. I mean, it was only $3, but it basically took Kirby's Dream Course and gave it a different coat of paint. That's hilarious. And if you like hearing about weird games like these, then let me know by subscribing to see more in the future. Thanks. Now there's been a bunch of Smash Bros clones over the years due to just how good of a concept the series actually is. But I think I found probably the weirdest ripoff out there. Indie Game Battle, everyone. So yeah, you know, not a bad concept initially. Basically, all the characters here are from indie games. I think, at least. I don't know, you tell me. I don't recognize anyone here. Oh, that's the guy from VVVVV? Okay, that's the Goat Simulator Goat? That's funny, I'll give it that. But, yeah, I don't know who the rest of these guys are. Now, before we even start with the gameplay, I noticed this game already screams of Smash Bros. Like how each character has their own series emblem, the general design of the menus, and there's an epic announcer for character select. Oh, and the victory screen is literally identical to the ones in Smash. But whatever, let's get into a game. And besides the obvious inspiration for some of the stages, like Final Destination, the game actually plays out pretty well. The moves are creative, you can pull off combos, it's a fun game. The characters' movesets here are just so insane and weird though. Like some of these moves are massive and just seem broken. Same with this game's version of Final Smashes 2. I know they're supposed to be good and all, but how are you gonna avoid this one? Look at the size of that move. He's literally like takes up half the stage. How do you avoid it? You just spam it. And check out some of the stages here. Some of them are so weird. One of which has you just in Newgrounds, like the website. What? This game seriously has no limits in what to expect. But you know what? I kinda liked it. Splatoon was a pretty big hit when it came out due to just how cool the concept was. So then how does one rip off this series? Introducing Crayola Scoot. I mean, they had to sell crayons somehow, I guess. This game basically just combined the concept of Splatoon and mixes it with like a Tony Hawk game, but instead it's on scooters now. Yeah, I'm confused too. Before we even get into the matches, we first start in this plaza, just like how the Splatoon hub worlds work. There's even similar type shops, like how you can customize your gear and clothes. But once you get into the gameplay, it's pretty weird. Like, it's a scooter trick game, but you have this can of paint strapped to the back of your scooter. You can't shoot normally though, right? Like how you would expect. So to shoot the paint, you just have to do a trick, and then the paint just goes wherever it wants. What is this? You can't even aim really. You just splatter paint in general areas by doing these tricks. Okay, so when it comes to this game's version of Turf War, where you try and paint the most ground, it just turns into randomly doing a bunch of tricks everywhere. Which is pretty well then the same as doing a bunch of tricks in a normal skateboarding game. You can't even attack or shoot the other scooter guys with it either. That was a big part of the fun in Splatoon, so then you're only just focused on yourself in this game. This game is so odd. It's like they had to shoehorn in Splatoon mechanics to remind people to buy crayons or something, but it just doesn't really blend well with this style of game. Animal Crossing, a series that's been around for a while, but has recently exploded in popularity due to the new Switch version. And that might be the reason this next clone game was made, because like that one, this next game is on an island too. It's called not Long Winter, but Long Vinter. Maybe it's Nordic, I don't know. Just look at that loading screen. Yeah, no, that's literally just an Animal Crossing character. So there was basically no instructions to this. I was just dropped on an island and had to figure it out. Now, right away, I noticed the characters, art style, and inventory all look exactly like Animal Crossing. Then I quickly realized that this was some sort of open server type game as another player joined my island and said hi. I was so confused, so I asked this guy what to do, but then he started talking crazy. He said I gotta get turrets and guns? Like, geez. I thought this was a cute Animal Crossing type game. So I left this maniac and found a bunch of other houses that I guess other users built. There was objectives to do here, first of which was to make money. The only way I knew how was by fishing and selling fish. But that was taking way too long. I needed a new method. And then I got it. Robbery. Yes, I found a way to reach over the fence of one of these wealthy homes to steal his precious garden plants. Everything was going okay, but I needed an accomplice. So I asked this random guy if he wanted to help me, in which he replied that he had a rifle. Perfect. The stage was set, me and my buddy were headed over to rob this guy's house. Oh wait, shoot, there he is, the homeowner. Act natural and wave. I am out of here, that was a close one. So even though the graphics and building mechanics were virtually the same as in Animal Crossing, I actually like the survival aspect of this game. It was surprisingly fun. Pokemon was all the rage in the 90s and still is today. So with all that hype, a lot of rip-offs were bound to occur. The most blatant of which has to be Robopon. It even just sounds like Pokemon, first of all. This time you use your team of little robots to battle. Heck, even in the intro title, we see a Robopon, I guess that's what they're called, that looks suspiciously similar to Mr. Mime. But things only become more apparent when you start the game, cause just look at your character. It's like 2 pixels away from being the same sprite in red and blue. And then you go and talk to your grandpa who forgets your name, so you have to then enter the player's name. Where have I seen that before? Then we get to the first battle, and again, everything just looks like the first generation Pokemon games. Except from like a side view this time. But things like the health bar and menus are exactly the same. Look, they even have the same types for moves as in Pokemon. And even the view of your party Pokemon, or sorry, party Robopons, is the exact same layout as in Pokemon. Jeez. This game is like Pokemon from another universe. It literally has all the staples of a Pokemon game. There's even a version of gym leaders called the Legend 7 here that other trainers recognize and look up to as powerful Robopon trainers. This is an okay turn-based RPG, I'll say that, but it's literally just Pokemon. Seriously, it's exactly like those fan-made ROM hacks of Pokemon. But it's not made by some fan, it's made by Hudson Soft and Atlas, actual game companies. Well, these games were certainly a journey. I hope you found them as funny as I did, and I'll see you guys later.